back to the literature, because I know that's a dear subject to you. We have also in Brazil, which is this internationally, which actually we, from time to time, I follow him on Twitter, and we interact a couple of times. Paulo Coelho.
Uh-huh.
So he wrote The Alchemist. So it's a beautiful book. I totally recommend. And but he's also not this amazingly. How can I put that? He's a storyteller. He's not like this artisan of words. Let's put it that. And a lot of people criticize him. But we have to understand one thing. I have the same passion for words that you have. I speak several languages, and I really like, the words, and I like, different. You can tell by my accent that English is not my first language. But what I think is happening now, and I think what the Harry Potter, the Rowling, what's her name?
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling and Paulo Coelho both are big examples of a time that maybe, because people read less and less every day.
Yeah.
So I believe that literature had to become a little more accessible to these people that don't read anymore. They don't even know the basic daily words. There are some podcasts that is very funny. They put a lot of people together and they ask them to say 3 countries, and people are not able to name 3 countries.
Right.
So they're not able to spell. They're not able to anything. So I believe that in this world, we need people like Paulo Coelho, and we need people like J.K. Rowling to make people interested in reading.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, are they like Shakespeare? Not. But we are 500 years later. And again, I respect a lot. I think that we are losing a lot of traditions. I'm a person that I love traditions. I was born 150 years too late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can relate.
Yeah, but I think that in this case, it's better to have people reading
and not reading at all.
Not too sophisticated literature than reading nothing and just dancing on front of TikTok and pointing here, pointing there.
There definitely is a benefit to having something that pulls people in.
I'm sorry if you are watching this and you like what I'm going to say now. But I cannot believe that I watch a lot of YouTube because I want to understand this platform. And I cannot believe that one of the most watched things is reactions. I swear to God, maybe I'm too old. I'm 40, maybe I'm too old. I don't understand what's the purpose of having someone to watch, let's say, a clip from Elvis Presley singing, and you have the person like, oh, that's good. I don't understand. Watch Elvis Presley singing, and it's fine. Why do I have to see this person reacting to an interview, watch the interview, and then you have your own reactions? You don't need reactions from... Well, I'm sorry, maybe I'm stupid.
Another one is the people who watch people playing video games.
Yeah, I love that.
Why would you watch someone else? I don't understand that.
Yeah, why don't you play?
But I know people who do that, especially like...
No, I can understand if you want to learn some tricks or something.
Yeah, but no, they just watch them play the game.
Yeah, for hours.
For hours.
Oh, another thing, unboxing. I buy something and then I'm going to open, and you're going to watch me open the thing. Oh, God. I said, we need to step into this, world of YouTube and Rumble, because I swear to God, we have so many things to say that are, in my opinion, more interesting than opening boxes and reacting to stuff. But anyway,
but you have to develop someone who's interested in those things, And let me back to language real quick. It's interesting, you speak more languages than I do and have traveled more globally than I have. There are different languages have different writings, and different languages have different caliber of writing, and you wonder, or I wonder, is the language is obviously the ability to communicate thoughts. Have certain languages, the best writing has been undoubtedly written in ancient Greek and Latin, and I'd add English in there. There are certain languages that haven't, experienced the same breadth of philosophical depth of of language that you'd bring to the table and say this is one of the greatest works ever written. And we talked about this a little bit the other day. Do you think the language has some effect on people's caliber of thinking? Even?
Absolutely, because there are some things, and I was giving to you the other day the Charles Aznavour song, which is of course older than it's like maybe my father's and grandfather's time, but I like old stuff. I'm sorry, but he has a song called Hier encore, still yesterday. I'm not fluent in French, by the way, but the song said, still yesterday, like Hier encore, j'avais 20 ans, I was 20.
Yeah.
And he says, j'ai caressé le temps. I caressed the time. You cannot say that in English.
Right.
I mean, you can say, oh, how can I caress the time?
Right, yeah.
Right? There's no way. So some things you cannot convey unless you're speaking that language. I mentioned in Portuguese, we have a word called saudade. And you have in Spanish, soledad, which is the feeling of missing someone. But we have a specific word for that.
Right.
The word love, in Greek, you have 4 different loves, right?
Agape,
so,
phileo,
yeah. So there are things that in those loves are completely different.
Yeah.
If you go and say, for example, philos is the love for something, for some study, for some science, for some. You have eros, which is the erotic love, and then you have agape, which is the highest love, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Greek believed that friendship was one of the highest forms of love because you can have many friends. Of course, you have some, especially women, they have some jealousy among friends and stuff like that. But and which one is the fourth?
Agape, phileo,
Eros.
Yeah. I forget the fourth one. Those are the 3 I'm familiar with.
Okay.
There's a fourth one though.
Yeah. Anyways, but that's the point. You have words for different things, and unfortunately, I still have problems. You guys that are watching me, you see me making a lot of grammar mistakes because there are some things that I cannot. I know they are wrong. I mean, they're right, but I cannot put it in my head. For example, I don't understand how people can go on the plane because I go in the plane.
You're not the first Spanish speaker who's told me that.
Yeah, I'm not on the top of the plane like I'm riding a horse. I remember even George Carlin said that. It's very windy up there. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Like in my humble and ignorant mind, is impossible to pre-board. You either boarding or not.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but hey, English does have multiple meanings for the word of ass. Your long ass, a bad ass, a slow ass. Or shit, ape shit is different than horse shit. Is different than bat shit crazy.
Yeah, my God, it's unbelievable. But I mean, I'm learning, and I apologize to you that is watching if I make any mistake. But anyways.
But it's interesting to think about language and how that affects people's even ability to think.
Yeah.
And you wonder if people's, how much of the work that comes out of a society is a reflection of the culture versus how much of it is a reflection of, maybe the climate, what the temperature is versus religion versus how much of it is a reflection of the language and the language's ability to translate thought. because a more limited vocabulary, a more limited language is a more limited ability to think through things. So, I mean, you have to even wonder how many languages, languages obviously are developed over years and years, but like how many societies have intentionally limited language to prevent people, and I don't know the answer to this, to prevent the common man from being able to have as much thought, just like 1984. Who's to say that hasn't happened with certain languages? Because there are certain languages we don't, not to degrade Spanish at all, but like, we have what Cervantes is Don Quixote.
Don Quixote, oh God.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not familiar with you're not going to get the same works in Spanish that you get in ancient Greek.
Yeah.
How much of that is a result of culture? How much of that is a result, how much of that is a result of language? I don't know.
Cervantes was born on September 29, the same day I was born, and the same day Pat was born.
Really?
Yeah, it's our birthday.